Well, 20 years ago, an earthquake of 9.1 magnitude erupted below the seabed in the Indian Ocean region, leaving an indelible scar on the neighboring countries of Thailand, Indonesia, India, and Sri Lanka. One of the worst affected countries was Indonesia, that accounted for more than half of the 230,000 dead from the disaster. The commemoration of the 20th anniversary of the deadly disaster, hundreds of survivors gathered in various parts of Aceh. A memorial service was also held in the front yard of Aceh's Grand Baitur Rahman's Mosque, where hundreds sat in silence for 3 minutes in remembrance of the tsunami before praying together.
I am a tsunami survivor. I lost my mother in Meolabo, but the mass graveyard in Meolabo is quite far from the city. We don't know if my mother, brother and sister were buried, but I believe they were, and wherever their bodies are, my prayers will reach them.
India was also one of the badly affected countries, losing over 16,000 lives. Over 700,000 people were displaced. Hundreds of thousands of buildings and homes were damaged or destroyed as enormous waves smashed into the coast. Locals, including the fishermen communities, paid tribute to the victims in Tamil Nadu by lighting candles. People in Chennai made offerings and prayed for the victims who died in the disaster. In Thailand, over half of 5,000 tourists lost their lives at a beach resort. 2 decades later, hundreds visited a tsunami memorial wall near Ban Nam Kem village, where the ceremony was held to pay their respects to lost loved ones.
I feel that the waves took my daughter away. I was so mad at it. I cannot bring myself near it and not even have my feet in the sand. I wouldn't come around here if necessary. Never. The sea took my daughter from me.
One of the worst natural disasters in human history left over 1 million people homeless. The disaster triggered unprecedented international response with an estimated $13 billion official aid and private donations pledged for recovery in all the affected countries. And for more on this, our principal correspondent Siddharth MP has sent us this report from Chennai.
Today marks the 20th year of remembrance of the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami, which is one of the worst disasters in modern history, which claimed more than 220,000 people's lives. This is in fact a disaster that originated because of an undersea earthquake near Sumatra in Indonesia. And from there, in the next couple of hours, the tidal waves picked up and it hit at least 15 plus countries in the Indian Ocean region. And India's east coast also was not spared, including the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago and Chennai city, where we are, because that was a day post-Christmas where a lot of people were along the beach. Obviously, being a coastal city, there are so many homes and residential areas by the beach. So all of these areas were devastated at that point in time. So remembering the kind of tragedy that unfolded at that point in time, today a remembrance march was held in Chennai city, led by Governor R.N. Ravi. And of course, some of the survivors also took part in the event. And those, from the bereaved families, they also took part to offer prayers to the lost lives in that particular tragedy. But over the last 20 years, we must remember that a lot has changed, especially because of Earth Sciences Ministry, which is under the Indian government. They've taken efforts, using their academia and institutions to develop forewarning mechanisms, including sensors onshore and offshore, to detect any kind of anomalies and to help predict any such disasters that may arise and provide forewarning to take urgent action and issue warnings. So this is not just a localized effort that's taking place in India, but several ocean states are taking this effort to remember that this kind of a tragedy can happen anytime and be prepared for it, so that they can at least predict and provide some kind of forewarning to minimize damage as much as possible. From Chennai, Siddharth MP, WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.